Well, that's about stupid. Yeah, right at the end of the countdown, OBS decided to disconnect, but at least it reconnected, so there's that. Well, I guess we're live. I'm gonna be completely honest, I really didn't want to do this review tonight. But here we are. Let's get this over with. This video is sponsored by Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend and by Reaper Apparel Company. Stay tuned till after the video to learn how you can save 10% off of your order. Hey, what's happening, ladies and germs? It's the PackerMan. Welcome to this edition of The Fuel. Well, let me change the background music here since I forgot to do it again. If it'll do it. Come the fuck on, man. This is ridiculous. I mean, good fucking lord. Welcome to tonight's edition of The Fuel. Where tonight we're going to be talking about the 2024 Quaker State 400 presented by Walmart from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The first race of the playoffs. But the title of this episode is U.S. Motorsports is in Turmoil. And that's not hyperbole. Because there's just been so much stupid shit that's been going on behind the scenes from both IndyCar and NASCAR this year. It's just one of those deals where it's just like, what in the absolute fuck is going on right now? Because you have these fucking CEOs and people in charge of this sport just basically acting like complete and total fucking nincompoops. And it just makes you wonder, why the fuck do I even bother supporting this?
Loyalist in the comments. So what? You have to win where it counts. If you can't the most, you don't deserve to be champ. You know what? That argument might hold some weight if it weren't for the fact.
Jesus Christ, OBS. What do you want, butthead? Come on. Jesus Christ. Stretch the screen. Now move, goddammit. Of course not. Of course you're not gonna fucking move. You'll move when I do that. Whatever. Anyway. I need a new computer in the worst possible way. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, let's go to IndyCar, for instance. Mark Miles is just a fucking idiot. Like, how this guy is still CEO of IndyCar is beyond me. Because let me see if I can find it here. Because, as if it wasn't bad enough that he was basically talking down on Pato O'Ward. And then you have his most recent fucking comment. I'm trying to find what it was. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but he made another comment saying, to the effect of, well, we have to look forward. We can't be, looking towards the past and stuff. Basically, burning bridges with some of the tracks that used to be a part of IndyCar. And it's just like, what in the absolute fuck is going on with American motorsports right now? Because you have Mark Miles basically acting like a complete fucking dolt, and then you have this charter situation in NASCAR right now. Latest. Let me see if I can find it. So, we recently had a conversation where somebody said they want us back at Watkins Glen, and instantly somebody said, oh yeah, that's great. No fucking way. We've got to quit being what we've been. We have to show some innovation. So no, this isn't one we've been to. Like, what the fuck does that tell you? I mean, Mark Miles is an absolute fucking moron. Of course, this isn't, a surprise because, IndyCar scheduling on top of that is fucking stupid. But, I mean, he usually goes to the Boston Consulting Group in order to do that shit. So, this isn't really anything new with Mark Miles. He's an idiot. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest here. There needs to be a complete upheaval of both IndyCar and NASCAR. Because this shit is ridiculous. So about the charter situation in NASCAR, apparently, most of the teams signed a new deal regarding the new charter system, or the new charter deal. Except for two teams, Front Row Motorsports and 2311, which 2311 I think we all kind of expected. But, yeah, statement from 2311 ownership. 2311 decided to not meet a NASCAR-imposed deadline last night to sign charter agreements for its two cars for 2025 through 2031. 2311's position, as stated in a letter to NASCAR, is that we did not have an opportunity to fairly bargain for a new charter contract. We notified NASCAR what issues needed to be addressed in writing at the deadline. We are interested in engaging in constructive discussions with NASCAR to address these issues and move forward in a way that comes to a fair resolution while strengthening the sport we all love. At 2311 Racing, we remain committed to competing at the highest level while also standing firm in our belief that NASCAR should be governed by fair and equitable practices. Exactly. And then there was this report from Adam Stern saying that 4 charters remain held back by NASCAR earmarked for a future manufacturer. A summer proposal from NASCAR suggested those charters should go to NASCAR and that the France family that runs the series should be able to field teams. No, we do not need to be turning this into fucking IndyCar. Okay, because IndyCar is owned by Penske now, as well as the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I mean, look what look what's happened to Joseph Newgarden. When he first came into the sport, he was a huge underdog, a fan favorite. But last couple of years, pretty much everybody has turned on him. Both his own doing and due to the fact that he still drives for Penske, and he's won the Indianapolis 500 in back-to-back years, which, I mean, a Penske run series at a Penske-owned track in a Penske car, winning the Indianapolis 500 in back-to-back years. Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking shady, doesn't it? You know, and now you got this, you know, whole charter system, and apparently, this is just a rumor, but apparently there were some team representatives that said that NASCAR was trying to coerce and threaten teams into signing the new charter deal or risk losing their charters, which I don't know if that's actually the case, but if that is actually true, then why in the ever-loving fuck do we support this company anymore? Because it's pretty clear to me that NASCAR just does not give a fuck about anything but themselves. The France family are nothing but a fucking cancer to motorsports. Period. I mean, honestly, they need to fucking sell NASCAR to an ownership group that would actually give a fucking flying goddamn about the sport of stock car racing. Because right now, this shit ain't getting it. Like, this is fucking nonsense. You know, I am just so sick and fucking tired of this shit. You know? I mean, it isn't bad enough that we've had shit-ass racing during the entire summer stretch, and the officiating has been absolute fucking garbage for years. You know, and now we got this stupid-ass charter situation going on, and NASCAR just doesn't want to budge on the matter, when the fact of the matter is they need to get it through their fucking thick-ass skulls and into their fucking pea brains that this is a symbiotic relationship. Without teams and drivers, you don't have races to put on. You know, and all this coming into the playoff run. First round of the playoffs was at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I'm going to be completely honest here. This race was nowhere near as good as the one in February. Nowhere near. In fact, it was, for most of it, it was boring as fuck. I did not enjoy most of this race. It finally got going in stage 3. But we still ended up with an overtime, a couple of stupid cautions, which I was expecting. I even wrote that in my fucking notes. And we ended up with a fucking Joey Logano win. And Larson got fucked. Well, I don't know if he got fucked. I don't know if it was like his car getting loose. I don't know if it was driver error or if there was actually a tire going down. Although the way that car snapped on him, it almost makes me think something broke. Maybe in the rear of the car, because the car doesn't snap like that without something breaking on it. Especially at that speed. You know, and it just continues to highlight why I can't stand the fucking playoffs. And I know, you know, there will be some people that are like, well, you know, you got to perform when it counts in the playoffs because champion. You know, that's just the way it goes. Okay, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is a wired fucking connection that I have to my router box, and it's still doing this shit. So I don't know what the hell's going on tonight. But anyway, I don't know if it got what I just said right there, but you know, I know some. I'll reiterate. You know, some people will probably be like, well, I mean, you know, it's just tough break for Larson, but you got to perform, you know, when it matters most, or you don't deserve to be a champion of NASCAR. Well, let me play this video, a little snippet for you. This is from Slap Shoes' the NASCAR playoffs are worse than you think, and it pretty much sums up all my feelings about the whole thing.
Loyalist in the comments. So what? You have to win where it counts. If you can't perform when it matters the most, you don't deserve to be champ. You know what? That argument might hold some weight if it weren't for the fact that you can actually win a race by sheer frickin' accident in NASCAR. Racing is just way too chaotic to adhere to that mindset. You're not just competing against one other driver, you're battling nearly 40 other guys and gals all at the same time. There's way too much that could go wrong. One person could have a grudge against you and take you out, you could get caught up in somebody else's mistake, a mechanical failure could sideline you, hell, even the weather could kneecap you. Just go ask Justin Haley how much weather affects racing. So long as we make the championship hinge on a single race at the end of the year, it becomes almost inevitable that weather will play a factor one day. If a race gets past halfway and it can't be restarted in a reasonable amount of time, then whoever was ahead at the point of caution will be the winner. Now the final race has moved to Phoenix, so you'd think a race in the desert would make this a non-factor. But just this year in 2020, just an hour or two after the last race was concluded, rain moved in and drenched the track. Hell, in November of 2015, Dale Jr. won his final race at a range way too chaotic to have finales like this. At least in the old points format, if it came down to the final race, you could always say you had all year to get ahead and build yourself a cushion, but you didn't take advantage of that. But in the playoff format, any cushion you could construct is unnecessarily demolished in the pursuit of entertainment. There's too much that could go wrong in motorsports. The only way to bring any semblance of order to it is in the aggregate. You might get lucky once or twice, but you are not going to get lucky 36 weeks in a row. The laws of nature and mathematics just won't allow it. The more races you run, the more apparent it becomes who the best driver all season is. The only system that makes any sort of sense is a year-end points total. It's almost like the people who built the points formats in motorsports in the 40s and 50s knew what they were doing. Now you may be unpersuaded, you may like the playoff format as it stands right now, but I implore you to reconsider. This isn't a matter of opinion anymore. This isn't just me bitching and complaining into a mic on YouTube. This is an undisputed fact. The playoffs are actively hurting the sport. If the playoffs were supposed to maintain interest and keep old fans, it failed. If it was supposed to draw in new fans with added drama, it failed. If it was still supposed to crown a deserving champion, it failed. If it was supposed to make races more interesting, it failed. What do you call something that has not achieved a single one of its stated objectives and in fact has done the opposite? You call it a failure. There is simply no other word to describe the playoffs.
I honestly couldn't have said it better myself. Let's go ahead and get into this review and just get this done and over with before OBS decides to fucking shit itself. So, 2024 Quaker State 400. Stages were 60, 100, and 100. Michael McDowell won the pole again. I think he's won all of the super speedway poles this year. Led lap 1, we got into a choo-choo train very early. Larson got by Barry for third. Then it started to heat up between multiple cars on lap 20 after pretty much nothing was going on. We had our first pure lead change on lap 30 when Ryan Blaney took the lead. There was some 2-on-2, and what the fuck? The fuck was that? The hell is this? Okay, that was weird. I don't know why that popped up. Coming into this season, Mike McDowell had no poles, and now he has 5. Yeah, pretty much. And they've all been on the super speedway tracks. Jesus Christ. I don't know why my computer is shitting itself right now. Good Lord. Alright, let's get this over with before my computer is a fucking meltdown. First caution was lap 56. Of course, that was the whole Larson incident. And he took Chase Briscoe with him, ran right into the back of him, couldn't see him. Blaney won stage 1 under caution. Then he had stage number 2, which was just fucking boring as shit. And OBS is still continuing to be a prick. Like, what in the fuck is going on? Good Lord. You know, I'm just gonna blaze right through this because it's pretty clear that something's going on with my computer. So I'm just gonna get through this quickly. Blaney won stage 1. Stage 2, you had some racing at the beginning, but the racing in stage 2 was boring as fuck because Austin Cindric pretty much led a large majority of it, and then there were 2x2, but nobody was going anywhere, and nobody was making any moves. And I'm just like, what in the fuck? Were they saving fuel? Were they doing that shit? I mean, it made for very, very boring viewing. I'll tell you that much. Then you had another caution for debris, which it was actually legitimate debris this time. You had some pit stops. And Austin Cindric won stage 2. There was actually a point where it looked like Suarez went below the yellow line, but Logano actually blocked him, so they decided to not call any penalty on Suarez. So, Logano and Gilliland actually made contact for stage points, resulting in neither of them getting stage points. Of course, it wouldn't really matter in the end for Logano. Justin Haley actually got penalized for blocking Reddick below the yellow line, so there was that. We get to stage 3. Things finally started picking up, but the number of cautions also started picking up. Mike McDowell and Ross Chastain traded the lead a little bit. John Hunter Nemechek crashed down the backstretch on his own on lap 175. Bubba Wallace led for a bit. And then we had the fourth caution on lap 205 when Chris Buescher gets loose. Kind of a similar situation to what happened, almost a similar situation to what happened to Larson. Got into Blaney, who comes down and basically door slaps Truex, breaks something in the right front on Truex's car. Blaney actually had to have his whole door, driver's side door, taped up. But they kept it going, and he charged his way back to the field. He actually started back at like 32nd position and wound up third at the end of the day. So that was a pretty incredible comeback on Blaney's part. I mean, Penske Racing as a whole just completely dominated this race. I mean, you had Austin Cindric leading the most laps. He won stage 2. Ryan Blaney won stage 1. And then, of course, Moldy Bread himself ended up winning the race. But there was some 4 wide in the mid-pack. Kyle Busch actually made it up to the lead. And it's like, you know, maybe this will be the day that he gets the win. But nope. You had Ty Gibbs up there. And here's, you know, with 15 to go. I actually wrote this down with 15 laps to go. Right there. With 15 laps to go, I'm wondering when the stupid caution will occur. I actually wrote that down in my notes. Everyone was worried about Team Penske at the start of the season, but they're peaking at the right time. They are. But I wrote that down in my notes. With 15 to go, I'm wondering when the stupid caution will occur. It was lap 250 when a Walmart sign fell onto the track for a debris caution. It never fails. There's always something at the end of these super speedway races that just completely fucks things up. Then we had a restart on lap 256, and Joey Logano got to the outside and made the pass on Daniel Suarez, and I'm like, come on, don't be giving this fucking race to Joey Logano of all people. Then we had our sixth caution on lap 259 when Harrison Burton rubs up against Austin Cindric. Then he made contact with Noah Gragson and spins him down the backstretch, and just like that, we have overtime. For the sixth time in the last 7 fucking races, we have had an overtime finish. I am beyond sick and tired of these overtime finishes. And then, yeah, the restart, big crash in turn 4, coming off the final turn. We ended up with this. It actually ended up under caution, and Logano ends up winning the race. I mean, why the fuck do we even bother at this point? So, stats. I mean, there were more green flag passes in this race than there was in February. But this race was nowhere near as good as the one in February. I mean, there were 24 overall lead changes and 12 pure lead changes, but there were 48 overall lead changes in February. And there were 33 pure lead changes in February. And we also had that epic 3-wide finish. We didn't get any of that this time around. And on top of that, Joey Logano won, and that just fucks it up even more. 7 cautions, 1 overtime period. Austin Cindric actually ended up leading the most laps at 92. And Logano is through to the round of 12. Whoop-de-fucking-do. My final rating for this race is a 3. It probably would have gotten a 5, maybe even a 6, but you know, that final run, those final 2 cautions at the end, and then an overtime, and then Logano winning, it just completely killed any semblance of enjoyment I had from this race. I mean, and those first 2 stages were boring as fuck, especially that second stage where literally nobody was making any moves whatsoever. And then you had the people on NBC trying to hype it up. You had Lee Diffie trying to say, oh, this is wild. And it's like, brah, this is fucking boring. Nobody's making any moves. It might as well have been 2 side-by-side choo-choo trains. I mean, yeah, they were 2x2, but literally they were just sitting there and nobody was making any moves whatsoever. And it stayed like that all the way through to the end of the stage. That's exciting racing? I want to see people making some fucking moves. Not whatever this bullshit, fuel-saving, dumb shit is. There needs to be some fucking wholesale changes within both of our major motorsports in the U.S. IndyCar and NASCAR needs a complete fucking upheaval. Because I am not liking what I'm seeing right now out of both motorsports. There needs to be some fucking wholesale changes. Period. Because I'm tired of the fucking bullshit that I'm watching on my TV screen. That's going to do it for this edition of The Fuel. Sorry, I apologize for all the technical difficulties. I don't know what the hell's going on. It seems like it's righted itself. But I don't know what the hell was going on at the beginning of this stream. Everything was just freezing up, and even before the stream began, fucking OBS disconnected and had to reconnect. So I don't know what the hell is going on there. You know, it is what it is. But next week is Watkins Glen. Hopefully the race will be better there, and we'll kind of go from there. We're into the single digits as far as Cup races remaining. We're into the home stretch. So, only about 2 months remain in this season. And then we can take a much needed break and get ready for the grind that will be 2025. That's going to do it for this edition of The Fuel. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out. See you later. Hey, what's up, and germs? This is the PackerMan letting you know that tonight's video was sponsored by W Jitterless Energy Blend and Reaper Apparel Company. Special shout out to both of them for sponsoring my YouTube channel. W Energy is a jitterless energy blend that contains coffee fruit extract and was designed to give gamers a boost of energy without all the downsides of regular energy drinks like crashes and harmful ingredients. And there are several different great flavors that you can try, such as Dragonade, Push and Punch, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, Watermelonada, and the limited edition Palm Blom flavor. And don't forget to get you a plastic shaker while you're at it. If you're interested in giving W Energy a shot, there's an affiliate link down in the description box below. In addition to W Energy, this video has also been brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. By clicking on the affiliate link down below in the description box, you'll be able to browse through many of their different wares, such as hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and other cool items. And that's not the only thing. When you place an order and you go to checkout, be sure to type in the code PackerMan and you'll be able to save 10% off of your order. And it would also help me out as well if you use the affiliate link, so thank you if you do. And also, special thanks to both W and Reaper Apparel for sponsoring my channel. Hey everyone, this is the PackerMan and thank you for watching tonight's video. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more great content. See you again next time.